So, what is your strategy to unite the party and then after that, a very polarized nation?
When you look at my record working in the Senate, how I've campaigned, I've always been someone that's brought people with me. And then I'm someone who has been able to forge alliances in the Senate and in the country with people of various political beliefs in our party. The next thing I would say is bringing in independents and moderate Republicans, which is going to be so important to building a coalition, to not just eking by a victory against Donald Trump at 4 a.m, but by winning big. That's what we need to do to keep that House strong as it is. And that's what we need to do to take back the US Senate.
Sanders and Trump are very much disruptors. And
Yes.
on the other hand, you are the Midwest nice candidate. Doesn't that put you out of step with the public that wants vigorous, sharp-edged answers?
The public is looking for something different. I don't think they're looking for someone richer. I don't think they're looking for someone louder. I do think they're looking for someone who can govern and someone who can debate him and someone who is skilled enough and tough enough to be able to take him on. And I have proven I can do that. My record of actually getting things done and passing over 100 bills as the lead Democrat, step by step by step, that is very important to people. They want to know you have someone that actually can govern. The truth is, as I said, you still can have someone that looks for common ground. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get things done. And I think the coarse rhetoric of Donald Trump is something that cannot remain.
If you could explain how you'd overhaul the immigration and customs enforcement while also ending family separation.
So, second question of the family separation, you can actually do that yourself as president. And I have put together 137 things that a president can do herself without Congress that are legal. And one of the things you can do is change that policy immediately. Obviously, the real answer here is comprehensive immigration reform. And I think making the economic case, which you can make so strongly in San Francisco, that immigrants don't diminish America, they are America, in terms of reform of some of these policies. I would end the private detention centers. I would reform ICE. I wouldn't get rid of it, but I would reform it by taking some of the obligations and some of their, I would call mission, I suppose, and put it under better oversight, of course, better oversight from Congress, but also in Homeland Security.
How can voters trust that you can take on President Trump when Mayor Pete got under your skin last night?
I know more than anyone, as the only one up there that's consistently won in a purple state and brought in suburban and rural voters, that they're starting to watch right now. Moderate Republicans, independents, and I want our party to offer something better than Donald Trump. I want our party to give them a reason to either not stay home or to vote for one of us. Yeah, we can do climate change, but still make sure that people are whole with dividends and the like. We can do legislation on climate change. We do not have to give free college for all to do bold things when it comes to education. We do not have to kick 149 million people off their current health insurance in 4 years to make major movements on healthcare.
What do you see as the federal role in addressing the homeless crisis?
I think it's a major role. First of all, to get this done in a big way, we're going to have a coalition, and it's focused on urban homeless issues like you have in your city, but you know they have them in spades in other towns as well. But also making that connection with rural, because there are housing deserts in rural. My housing plan is actually one of the broadest. The first thing it does is tackle the Section 8 backlog in a big, big way to get the waiting time down to 2 to 3 months. I'm sure you've heard this, there's years of people waiting for housing without temporary housing. Secondly, creating incentives for building more housing, both in urban and in rural. And then third, of course, helping people to pay for housing. Everything I do, I show how I'm going to pay for it. How I would pay for this is by doing a minimum corporate tax of 15%, which would bring in a whole lot of money because there's so many corporations that aren't paying any taxes.
Senator Amy Klobuchar, on behalf of the San Francisco Chronicle, really want to thank you for taking this time with our editorial board.